what's up, gamers? This is Mystic. Welcome to another edition of Through the Grapevine, where I share news, tips, tricks, rumors, and any old other thing that might be going on in the game, or I would like to see going on in the game, and maybe you guys would too. Today, I have a very interesting bit of news to impart to you all about the Halloween drops. Now, I don't mean the pumpkin heads and the broom wands and all that bit. I mean the good drops, the interesting drops, the drops that we all want. The mummy robes, the vampire robes, the hats, the shoes, all that goes with it. I have discovered something through a lot of trial and much more error even that I think you guys should know. That is, as far as these drops go, I have run Galen, as you see him before you, a bunch of times, but each time I took one of my lower level alts with me, basically so this Galen could carry that lower level person. I've done this 3 or 4 times now. I don't mean 3 or 4 times, I mean with 3 or 4 different lower level alts. And each time the lower level alt got far more drops in the robes, hats, shoes department for the new stuff than this Galen here did. This Galen has gotten, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6. You know, I've got the mummy robe, the vampire shoes, etc. like that, about 5 or 6 times. But that's over the course of all the farming I did with all the lower levels. All of my lower levels each, I would say I've probably done this, I've probably farmed this about 1,000 times now, about. Each time I took a lower level alt with me, it was about 250 times, give or take, that they went with me. They got more. Each of my lower level alts got more of those robe, hat, and shoe drops in their brief time than my Storm Galen here did the whole time. So what I'm thinking is that these drops are level based. Maybe it's not true. You know, it might not be true. I have no way of proving it. I mean, other than the research that I've done, other than the work that I've done. That it does seem, though, that the lower level character it is, the more likely it is to get those good drops. The robes, the hats, the shoes, etc. Like if you were to, for instance, I ran a level 2 in Nightshade's Tower, and he got hats all day. He got the Halloween hat like 3 or 4 times. Just in the amount of times I ran him. He got the mummy wraps. He got the vampire shoes as well. My point is, if you can, run the lowest level character that you can get in there. Have one of your friends, you know, who's a max, take you in there, what have you. If you can run a level 2, run it. Because that's what I did. And I had great luck that way. It seems like the lower level player that runs in there, the better chance they have for drops. I don't know why. I don't know how. I can't begin to tell you why. I can just report the results that I have to you. So run your lower level characters in there, not your higher level characters. Or, you know, take turns with your friends. Run a high level and carry one of your low level friends, and vice versa, etc. You're, I think, much more likely to pick up those Halloween robes and shoes and hats that you really want doing this. This has worked for me, and I wanted to share it with you guys. That's the interesting bit of tidbit as far as the news goes. I would like to get into a few of the game ideas that I've had this time, because I've had some good doozies since we last talked, or since I last talked and you last listened to me. I was thinking about this a little bit earlier in pet training. I would love to be able to name my pet whatever I want, not just go off the fail generic chart that they give you, you know, Lord so-and-so, King so-and-so, whatever. I think that as long as it doesn't violate the filter, you should be allowed to name your pet whatever you want. If I want to name my ghost Fred, I want to name her Fred. I think that's what we should be allowed to do. It doesn't seem like there should be any problem allowing us to name our pets anything that we want instead of going off that field, because I'll tell you what, there's only so many variations you can really use, and whenever you're doing a lot of mixing like I'm doing, this is what brings it up. I'm doing a lot of pet mixing, and I'm trying to tell between pets, and I'll pull up 10 Baxters. You know, they'll quote unquote randomly give me 10 Baxters in a minute. I swear. I think you should be allowed to name your pets whatever you want. Like, say, name your pet First Gen Pass or First Gen Fail or whatever. Just so you can keep track of what you're doing whenever you're pet mixing, and just, you know, to add a little more expansion, a little more creativity to the game. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I would like to be able to, as far as the pet training as well, I would like to be able to look at a page or look at a sheet. Like whenever you go to pet mix and it shows the stats of the two pets that are doing the mixing, I'd like to see that chart a little bit later, because I've noticed that whenever I'm looking to see what it got in the talent pool, I have to shuffle back and forth between pets or else write it all down, and that's, man, that can be time consuming. I would like for them to be able to just like display in the little corner or little window or whatever the stats and talents that the parent pets had, so you can look through your pet pool and see what you're most likely to have gotten. I think that would be a great time saver. That's a minor fix right there, but I think that would be a great time saver. I think that, and this is what I've noticed, say you've got 2 power pips and you've got a spell to cast that costs 3 pips. I hate how it burns up your extra pip. I would like to see those off number pip spells, you know, a 3 pip spell. If you have 4 pips and you use 3 of them, let it give you that white pip back. Sometimes an extra pip makes all the difference in the world. So I don't think that only burning the pips that you actually use is too much to ask for. Let me get into another one. This is one, this is really going to be pretty much a pet episode as far as Through the Grapevine goes. This is the pet I would really, really love to see. I've thought about this for a long time. I've just never brought it up. I would love to see a pet called an imaginary friend that was invisible to everybody but you. I mean, even in PvP, and it casts whatever talents it casts, but you can't see it. I mean, nobody else can see it except for you. Yeah, I think that would be a really, really funny and cool pet to have. The imaginary friend pet that's totally invisible until it casts its spells or whatever in PvP or in Quest or what have you. You know, just poof, out of nowhere comes this spell and you're like, what? Where did that come from? I would love to have that pet. I've thought about that for the longest time. And I'm going to do one more quick one, because this Through the Grapevine was really meant to tell you guys about those robe drops and stuff like that. It wasn't really meant to go into a lot of different ideas, but sometimes I run off at the mouth. I can't help myself. So I'm going to give one more idea that I think would be really cool in the game. So far, we have hundreds of different fish to catch. But all we have is a fish, a squid, and eels. We only have 1 squid for that matter. I think that they should add turtles and frogs and crabs and every other kind of fish or aquatic sea life that you could get. I think that they should have a fish, just like the old boot. They should have the rotted tire pet that you can catch from fishing and have as an actual pet. Stuff like that. I think that there's just not quite enough variety. I mean, as cool as, and I won't complain. Yeah, they got a lot of coolness about this game and about the pets and about stuff like that. But I would like to see things that you can do that you should be able to do. So I don't think that crabs and turtles and any other kinds of odd pets, odd fish would be out of the question. Let's catch the, I don't know, the snapping turtle or what have you for a fish. I think that those, among other things, would make, as far as putting your aquariums together goes, would make a much more interesting aquarium rather than just having fish in it. If you could have turtles or frogs or crabs or anything like that, that would be awesome. So King's Isle, if you're listening, there's my ideas for this Through the Grapevine. Hopefully we'll get some of those implemented, I hope. And I will see you guys next time. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Maybe leave me a comment about other games or other series or any other craziness you might want to see me play. If you'd like, leave a comment to talk to me, to ask me questions, or just shoot the breeze, because I love to talk to you guys back. This is Skeletal Mystic and Lady Shadow, reminding you that whatever else you do, always love the game. Peace! Hey, what's up, gamers? This is Skeletal Mystic. On today's episode of Through the Grapevine, I will be talking to you about a few new interesting things. One of them being the Polaris bundle, and the proper penguin pet. Now, I had in mind during the Halloween season to just train